Hey Steelers Nation, what night to be a fan of our Pittsburgh Steelers. The energy in Detroit was electric, and the roller coaster of a game that unfolded at Ford Field will be remembered for a long time. It wasn't just another win, it was a statement, a declaration that this team, even with some key players missing, can rise to the occasion when it matters most. From the very first snap, you could feel the intensity radiating from both sides of the ball. The Lions, as always, brought their high-octane offense, led by Jared Goff, a quarterback who has proven time and again that when given space and time, he could put points on the board in rapid succession. But this was not just another Detroit team coming to play their usual tricks. The Steelers came ready, and it showed immediately in the way they controlled the game's tempo. It was evident that the coaching staff had meticulously studied every aspect of the Lions' offense and defense, because even with T.J. Watt, Nick Herbig, and James Pierre sidelined, the Steelers executed with a precision that only comes from a deep understanding of your opponent's strengths and weaknesses. By the fourth quarter, the momentum was unmistakably in Pittsburgh's favor. Jaylen Warren's first 45-yard touchdown run put the Steelers up 22-10, and for a moment, there was a sense of relief and optimism. The team had built a lead against the league's #1 scoring offense, and it felt like they were in control. But as anyone who has watched the NFL knows, no lead is safe, especially against a team like the Lions. Jared Goff responded quickly with a 27-yard touchdown pass, reminding everyone that Detroit was far from done. Yet Warren's second long touchdown run, another 45-yard sprint, pushed the Steelers ahead 29-17, and with just under 7 minutes remaining, it looked as though the game might be safely in Pittsburgh's hands. But the drama was far from over. What followed was a sequence of events that had fans on the edge of their seats, the kind of moments that define careers, test nerves, and showcase the very essence of football. As the Lions marched down the field, reaching first and goal at the 1-yard line, the tension was palpable. Every Steelers fan watching, whether in the stands or at home, knew what was at stake. Some may have felt that sinking feeling, expecting the worst, remembering past games where leads slipped away. And it's in those moments that emotions run highest. Disappointment mixes with anger, frustration with hope. Inside the locker room, the atmosphere was equally charged. Players who cared deeply about the outcome, like Queen, experienced that mix of emotions. Sitting on the bench, reflecting on what could have been, there was an undeniable weight, a recognition of how much this game meant not just in the standings, but in the narrative of their season. Yet even in those moments, there was room for perspective. Wins like this are built on more than just a scoreboard. They're the culmination of preparation, execution, and resilience. I reminded him, and anyone observing closely, that despite the near misses and what-ifs, this was a huge step forward. The Steelers outgained Detroit in total yards, controlled the clock, and forced Jared Goff into 20 incompletions, not to mention 3 sacks, 7 tackles for losses, a forced fumble, and 6 passes defensed, all while missing key defensive contributors. These are the moments where the effort and dedication of the team truly shine. The defensive performance was particularly impressive. The Lions came into this game boasting the top running back tandem in the NFL, yet David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs were limited to minimal gains, combining for a total that barely crossed 15 yards. Meanwhile, the Steelers' ground game flourished, with Warren rushing for 143 yards, Gainwell contributing 50 more, and other backs chipping in effectively. The contrast was striking, highlighting not only the talent of Pittsburgh's backfield, but the coordination and discipline of the offensive line, especially Dylan Cook, whose commitment and tenacity set the tone for the day. It's these performances, often overlooked in highlight reels, that create the foundation for victory. Players who care deeply, who study and execute their assignments with precision, are what make the difference between a good team and a great one. Equally noteworthy was the secondary's performance, particularly Jalen Ramsey and Joey Porter, whose game-winning stop exemplified the determination and awareness required at the highest level. The play was clean, decisive, and perfectly executed, leaving no room for debate. Detroit's Amon-Ra St. Brown was stopped before crossing the goal line, and the whistle blew at the exact right moment. The precision of that defensive play, paired with the Steelers' ability to capitalize on every opportunity, underscored the meticulous preparation behind each action on the field. Ramsey's confident stride toward the bus after the game, grinning and acknowledging the moment, captured the essence of team effort and the satisfaction of executing under pressure. The coordination between the defensive line, secondary, and linebackers created a unit that was cohesive, resilient, and unyielding, capable of overcoming adversity and missing personnel without missing a beat. On offense, the chemistry between Aaron Rodgers, DK Metcalf, Marquez Valdes-Scantling, and Adam Thielen proved vital. Valdes-Scantling's near-spectacular catch and Thielen's reliable hands in clutch situations ensured that drives continued, that momentum was maintained, and that the Steelers could sustain pressure and exploit openings. Each player contributed in tangible ways, executing their assignments, reading the field, and adapting to defensive adjustments. The level of communication and trust on that side of the ball was palpable, demonstrating how preparation meets opportunity in the crucible of competition. Moments like these, where individual talent and collective effort intersect, define seasons and solidify the foundation for playoff success. Every reception, every yard gained, and every strategic decision made in real time was a testament to the coaching staff's vision and the players' ability to execute under pressure. The game also highlighted the importance of defensive adjustments and individual standout performances. Alex Highsmith's two early tackle for losses set a tone, signaling that the Steelers were ready to compete and neutralize Detroit's rushing attack. Keanu Bennon's timely sack on Jared Goff was a pivotal moment, energizing the defense and establishing momentum. These plays may not always appear in highlight reels, but their impact is undeniable. They are the moments where preparation, anticipation, and execution converge to influence the outcome in meaningful ways. The ability of the Steelers to adapt, to recognize weaknesses in their opponent, and to apply pressure strategically illustrates a team that is not just reacting, but proactively controlling the flow of the game. It is this discipline and football intelligence that separates playoff contenders from the rest of the league. Ultimately, the win in Detroit represents more than just points on a scoreboard. It is a demonstration of resilience, preparation, and the ability to perform under pressure. The Steelers showcased complementary football at its finest. Offense, defense, and special teams all contributing to a cohesive and victorious effort. From strategic planning by the coaching staff to the execution by every player on the field, this was a game that reflected the heart, skill, and determination of a team determined to make a mark in the AFC. Every yard gained, every defensive stop, and every tactical adjustment reinforced the belief that this Steelers team has the potential to achieve great things, especially as the postseason approaches. This game was not only a win, but a blueprint for how the team can continue to succeed, emphasizing preparation, communication, and relentless effort as the keys to sustained success. As the final seconds ticked off the clock, the sense of accomplishment among the Steelers was unmistakable, but so was the understanding that this was only part of the journey. The players, coaches, and fans alike recognized the gravity of what had been achieved and also the challenges that still lay ahead. The locker room buzzed with a mix of relief, satisfaction, and the quiet intensity of a team already thinking about the next opponent. Conversations ranged from reviewing key plays to subtle adjustments that could make the difference in the coming weeks, and the dedication was evident in every exchange. There was a clear message resonating throughout. Preparation, execution, and trust in one another are the foundations of sustained success. Each player, from the seasoned veterans to the newer contributors, had a role to play, and their awareness of that role was both humbling and inspiring. The synergy between offense and defense, the fluidity of special teams, and the leadership that anchored the locker room all came together in a way that made the game against Detroit a blueprint for future victories. The defensive line, which had been tested throughout the season, showed remarkable adaptability and cohesion. The absence of T.J. Watt and Nick Herbig forced other players to step up, and they did so with precision and confidence. Keanu Benton, stepping into a more prominent role, exemplified the impact that preparation can have when opportunity arises. His ability to penetrate the line, disrupt plays, and set the tempo for the defensive unit was crucial in controlling the narrative of the game. Meanwhile, the linebackers and secondary worked seamlessly to minimize the Lions' explosive plays, with Ramsey and Porter making critical stops that preserve the lead. Every tackle, every adjustment, and every read of the opposing offense contributed to the broader strategy, emphasizing how football is a game of collective effort and intelligence as much as athleticism. The Lions' attempts to exploit gaps in the Steelers' defense were met with disciplined responses, showcasing the depth and versatility of the roster. This defensive effort reinforced the idea that a team is not defined solely by its stars, but by the ability of every member to rise to the occasion when called upon. Offensively, the team's execution was equally impressive. Aaron Rodgers orchestrated the offense with a mix of poise and precision, leveraging his understanding of defensive schemes to create opportunities for his receivers. DK Metcalf and Adam Thielen became key targets, exploiting mismatches and ensuring that the offense could sustain drives when it mattered most. Marquez Valdes-Scantling's efforts, although sometimes under the radar, provided crucial contributions, demonstrating that every catch, every route, and every adjustment can shift momentum in a tightly contested game. The offensive line's performance, particularly the emergence of Dylan Cook, highlighted the importance of resilience and technique. Despite facing Aiden Hutchinson, one of the league's premier edge rushers, Cook held his ground, recovered from early setbacks, and helped anchor an offensive front that created time and space for the skill players to make plays. The collaboration between line, quarterback, and receivers illustrated a team operating at a high level of cohesion, where trust and timing were as important as physical skill. Special teams also played a subtle but vital role in Pittsburgh's success. Field position, strategic returns, and situational awareness ensured that the Steelers maximized every opportunity and minimized risk. Complementary football, as coaches often emphasize, became more than a buzzword. It was a tangible factor that allowed the Steelers to maintain control of the game. Each phase of the team contributed in a way that highlighted the importance of preparation, communication, and execution across the board. In moments when the pressure mounted, the team's ability to remain disciplined and execute their assignments effectively reflected a maturity and focus that can only come from experience and a deep understanding of the game's nuances. It is precisely this blend of individual brilliance and collective effort that makes Pittsburgh a formidable opponent, particularly in the critical stages of the season where every yard, every tackle, and every play carries heightened significance. What stood out perhaps the most was the psychological resilience displayed by the players. Facing a high-powered offense like Detroit's, under the scrutiny of fans and media, requires mental toughness as much as physical skill. The Steelers showed composure in the face of adversity, responding to the Lions' late scoring drive without losing focus. This mental fortitude, the ability to reset after a touchdown or a big gain, is a hallmark of teams capable of deep playoff runs. Players like Queen, Ramsey, and Benton exemplified this mindset, translating preparation into action while remaining adaptable in the face of unexpected developments. Leadership from veterans set the tone, modeling the patience, focus, and intensity required for success, while younger players absorbed lessons and applied them in real time, a testament to the culture fostered within the team. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. The NFL world is buzzing with speculation after shocking reports emerged suggesting that the highly anticipated clash between the Detroit Lions and the Philadelphia Eagles could face a potential nullification. While the league has yet to issue an official statement, insiders indicate that the controversy surrounding the game is causing major ripples behind the scenes, leaving players, coaches, and fans on edge. Sources close to team management claim that irregularities in officiating and possible procedural oversights during the game are at the center of the storm. Observers note that certain critical calls, combined with unusual game circumstances, have prompted a quiet but intense investigation by league officials. While the specifics remain under wraps, the mere possibility of a game being retroactively voided has sent shockwaves through locker rooms and social media alike. Fans on both sides have already taken to forums and social media platforms, debating the fairness of the situation and speculating about potential outcomes. Could a Lions victory be erased from the record books? Would the Eagles have grounds for an official protest? Analysts suggest that if the NFL does decide to take unprecedented action, it would mark one of the most extraordinary interventions in recent memory. League insiders emphasize that such a move would not be taken lightly. A nullification would have far-reaching implications for playoff standings, player statistics, and contractual clauses, creating a ripple effect that could impact the season in ways few are prepared to handle. Meanwhile, both teams are reportedly preparing for all scenarios, treating every upcoming practice and matchup with an added layer of intensity and focus. The speculation alone is enough to fuel endless debate, with sports talk shows already dedicating entire segments to dissecting what could be a historic decision. Even casual fans are drawn into the narrative, imagining how the NFL would handle such a situation and what it might mean for the league's credibility. In a sport where outcomes are usually settled on the field, the looming possibility of a game being wiped from official records is sending shockwaves from Detroit to Philadelphia and beyond. As the saga unfolds, all eyes remain on NFL headquarters, where a decision could arrive at any moment. The potential annulment of the Lions versus Eagles game is not just a rumor. It is becoming a test case for the league's governance, fairness, and ability to maintain trust in one of the most fiercely competitive arenas in American sports. Whatever the outcome, this controversy is certain to be remembered as one of the most talked about stories in recent NFL history. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Pittsburgh Steelers, make sure to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.